I hope that they do discriminate, but the ones that I want them to discriminate against are those that are less likely or higher risk of defaulting on the loan. And so, yeah, I want people to have their credit scrutinized, so then they can make assessments of whether or not it's wise to give them this loan or not. And so, if the end result of that ends up meaning that an identity group has a larger percentage, that's just that's something that I'm willing to accept, because the number one thing is, and I don't care how it turns out, other than just making sure that we're doing this on the basis of credit worthiness. If you don't have credit worthiness, they shouldn't give you a loan. And the previous way was allowing.
We're not just black or low income people or just poor people that don't know about credit. Like they have no credit. Like when you're 18, a lot of black people don't even didn't know what credit was. They have bad credit. So they're not gonna qualify just for the simple fact that they didn't have a carrier that they could attach them to their credit card and they could help them get credit 18. But now you're getting punished for a lack of knowing, a lack of knowledge in the system that you've been systemically held back in. I think on the surface, I get what you're saying, but when you really think about it, like they should have. It's not okay, right?
And Roger, you earlier told me to take a couple math classes. I do have an MBA, and I understand where you're coming from and what you hope to see happens from this loan going to private lenders. But as how the business is supposed to work and how the loan department is supposed to work, it doesn't work in the way that you and I wish. The way it works is they don't care who that student is, what their GPA is, what they may or may not accomplish in future. They're going to look and see what does this person have that they can hold on to as collateral damage, before wanting to lend the money to them. And that is absolutely going to affect our. This is really bad. I don't know.
Wait, hold on. No, hold on. And Nix, it's not your turn to speak. And if you interrupt again, you're going to be removed from the room.
Hello.
We're not bringing you back up. You're just a fucking retard. Period. Sarah, so here's the issue, right? If you were the bank, if you were lending money, don't you believe that it's your right to establish the criteria for assessing?
Definitely.
Okay.
And the way I'm gonna place that, characteristics of it is gonna actually contribute directly into systemic racism and systemic classism. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Wait, hold on. I want to respond to the retard in the chat. He seems to think that the banks are backed by tax dollars. Now, we have given them bailouts, which was tax dollars. There's that. So I'd agree on that front. But I would bet this moron thinks that FDIC comes from taxpayer dollars. I would bet that this moron believes that. I would bet that he doesn't understand what member banks funding FDIC actually means. I would bet that this idiot he does know. Okay, so explain to me, Nix, from the chat. Well, I'm not bringing you up, you're ignorant fool, but from the chat, tell me, how is FDIC funded? No, I'm not letting you speak. You lost that privilege by twice being on the stage and interrupting people with stupid comments. So, listen, and by the way, I will just say this. I can tell by your photograph, I can tell by the way that you carry yourself in that photograph that you are a fucking retard. I can make that assessment. Go ahead. And yes, I'm judging you.
That's a limp dick blunt, by the way.
Yeah, he should look at the blunt that I'm smoking in my PTR. That one's.
I don't know how.
Anyways,
is funded. I assume it's just a regulation. Like, aren't banks just funded by the money people put in them?
Well, no, but we're talking about insuring the money. When you put your money in the bank, what ensures that money